Good morning all. Today we are going to discuss first part of module 5. So in first part of module 5 we are dealing with the kinematics of rotation. So the topics covered in this video are rotation, kinematics of rotation, equations of motion for a rigid body rotating about a fixed axis. So here we are dealing with a body moving along a circular path. So when a body is moving along a circular path, the center of rotation remains constant. So here are some examples of circular motion. So in the figure you can see a body moving along a circular path. So initially the body is at position A. So after time t, the body occupies a new position B. So the angular displacement is theta. So the displacement of a particle in circular motion is measured in terms of angular displacement, and the unit of angular displacement is radian. So now the rate of change of angular displacement, that is known as the angular velocity, which is denoted by omega. So omega is equal to d theta by dt. So here the unit of angular velocity is radian per second. So but in most of the problems the unit of angular velocity is given in terms of RPM, that is revolution per minute. So if the unit of angular velocity is given in revolution per minute, you have to convert it into radian per second. So in order to convert the angular velocity from revolution per minute to RPM, you have to multiply by 2 pi by 60, where n is the revolution per minute. So here capital N represents the angular velocity in revolution per minute. So omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. This is a very important equation you have to use in problems. So next we will define what is angular acceleration. So rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time, that is known as angular acceleration, which is denoted by alpha. So alpha is equal to d omega by dt, and the unit is radian per second square. So now we can rearrange this equation. Instead of omega we can write as d theta by dt. So the above equation changes to d by dt into d theta by dt, that is equal to d square theta by dt square. So next one more equation for alpha. So in order to get that equation, we have d omega by dt. So both the numerator and denominator is multiplied by d theta. Then the equation changes to d omega into omega by d theta. So these are all equations which we are using when the body is undergoing variable acceleration. So that topic is not included in your syllabus. So next is a very important derivation, that is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. Similarly, the relation between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. So in order to derive this relation, we are considering a body which initially at point A moves to a new position B after time t seconds. So here the linear displacement is given as AB and theta represent the angular displacement. So linear displacement is written in terms of r theta. So linear displacement AB is equal to r into theta. So now we have the linear velocity. Linear velocity is the rate of change of linear displacement. So we can substitute the above equation r into d theta by dt, that is equal to r omega. So V is equal to r omega. That is the relation connecting linear velocity and angular velocity. So next is the relation connecting linear acceleration and angular acceleration. So here we have to write equation for linear acceleration. A is equal to dv by dt, rate of change of angular velocity. So instead of v, you can substitute the previous equation. V is equal to r omega. That is equal to r into d omega by dt. So here A is equal to r alpha. These are the two equations which is very important in problems. So you have to by heart this equation, and the derivation is also included in your syllabus. Similar to the rectilinear motion, in angular motion we have three equations of motion. So these are the terms used in that equation. Omega 1 is the initial angular velocity, and in rectilinear motion we have already defined the initial velocity. The notation given was u, and final velocity is given the notation v in rectilinear motion. Acceleration is given the notation a, and the formula for velocity v is equal to ds by dt, and formula for acceleration is a is equal to dv by dt. So analog to all this notation, we have in angular motion omega 1, that is the initial velocity, omega 2 is the final velocity. Uniform acceleration is given the notation alpha, and the formula for velocity is omega is equal to d theta by dt, and formula for acceleration alpha is equal to d omega by dt. So derivation of this equation of motion is not important, but you have to by heart the three equations of motion which is used in circular motion. So these are the terms used. Omega 1 is the initial angular velocity. Final angular velocity is given the notation omega 2. And its unit are radian per second. T is the time in seconds. Theta is the angular displacement in radian. Alpha is the angular acceleration in radian per second squared. So equations of motion used in angular motion or circular motion is omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t. Omega 2 square is equal to omega 1 square plus 2 alpha theta, and theta is equal to omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. So now coming to the first question. A body accelerates uniformly at 5 radian per second squared is found to be rotating at 90 radian per second at the end of 12 seconds. Determine initial velocity and the angle turned. We are having the three equations of motion. First step is you have to write down the data given in the question. So here angular acceleration is given as 5 radian per second squared, that is alpha is equal to 5 radian per second squared, and it is found to be rotating at 90 radian per second at the end of 12 seconds. So when t is equal to 12 seconds, final velocity is 90 radian per second. You have to calculate initial velocity. So alpha is given, omega 2 is given, time is given. You can use the first equation of motion, omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t. From that equation you will get omega 1 is equal to 30 radian per second. So next you have to calculate the angle turned during this interval. So in order to calculate the angle turned, you are using the second equation of motion. Theta is equal to omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. That is 30 into 12 plus half into 5 into 12 square. That is equal to 360 plus 360, that is 720 radians. So angle turned during 12 seconds is 720 radians. So now the second question, a wheel is rotating about a fixed axis at 24 rpm, is uniformly accelerated for 70 seconds, 70. So here the angular velocity is given in rpm. So you have to convert into radian per second. So wheel is rotating about a fixed axis at 24 rpm, is uniformly accelerated for 70 seconds, during which it makes 50 revolutions. Find first one angular velocity at the end of this interval and the time required for speed to reach 150 rpm. So first step is the conversion of angular velocity to radian per second. We have to multiply with 2 pi by 60. Omega 1 is equal to 2 pi into n1 by 60. So that is equal to 2.51 radian per second. T is equal to 70 seconds. Theta is 50 revolutions. So here instead of radian you are given theta in revolution. So in order to convert it into radian you have to multiply by 2 pi. 1 revolution is 2 pi radian. So 50 revolution is equal to 50 into 2 pi radian. That is equal to 314 radian. So next we have to calculate angular velocity at the end of this interval. That is angular velocity after 70 seconds. So to calculate the angular velocity, you have to first find out the angular acceleration. So the first step we have theta, t and omega 1. So using this data we have to apply in equation 2. That is theta is equal to omega 1 t plus half alpha t square. That is 340 is equal to 2.51 into 70 plus half into alpha into 70 square. So from that alpha is equal to 0.056 radian per second squared. So after getting alpha you can substitute in the first equation of motion. Omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t. That is omega 2 is equal to 6.43 radian per second. So now the time required to reach 150 rpm. So again angular velocity is given in rpm. You have to convert into radian per second. So omega 2 is equal to 2 pi n by 60. 2 pi into 150 by 60, that is equal to 15.71. So here we are going to calculate the time required to reach 150. So initial velocity we have given, it is given in the question. So based on the initial velocity, angular acceleration, you have to calculate the time required to reach 150 rpm. So again we are using the equation omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t. 15.71 is equal to 2.51 plus 0.056 into t. From that equation you are getting t is equal to 235.71 seconds. So now the third question. A wheel starting from rest is accelerated at the rate of 5 radian per second squared for an interval of 10 seconds. If it is made to stop in next 5 seconds by applying brake, determine the maximum velocity attained and the total angle turned. So we have these three equations of motion. So initially the wheel is starting from rest. So the figure you can represent the movement like this. Actually it is moving in a circular path. In order to understand it, we are representing it in a linear motion. So initially the velocity is 0, angular velocity is 0. It is accelerated at a rate of 5 radian per second. Alpha is given as 5 radian per second square for an interval of 10 seconds. So here theta, the displacement is not given. Displacement you have to calculate, final velocity you have to calculate. Then after reaching the velocity omega 2, it is then made to stop in next 5 seconds. So next 5 seconds it is decelerating. So final velocity omega 3 is equal to 0. So here time is given 5 seconds. Whereas deceleration is not given, angular deceleration is not given, and the angular displacement is also not given. You have to calculate all these values. So now we are considering the first stage, that is omega 1 is equal to 0, alpha is equal to 5 radian per second, and t is equal to 10 seconds. So using this 3 data, you can apply in first equation of motion, omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t. Omega 2 is equal to 50 radian per second. So next you have to calculate the angle turned in 10 seconds. So theta is equal to omega 1 into t plus half alpha t square. That's the equation you are going to use. So initial velocity is 0, alpha is 5, t is 10. So angle turned is 250 radians. And now during the retardation, omega 2 is equal to 50 radian per second. Omega 3 is equal to 0. T is given in the question 5 seconds. So using the first equation of motion, alpha is equal to minus 10 radian per second. Again during that case, you have to calculate the angle turned. Angle turned is equal to omega 2 t plus a half alpha t square. That is equal to 125 radians. So total angle turned is 375 radians. So now the third question, a wheel accelerate uniformly from rest to a speed of 200 rpm in 0.5 seconds. So first case is represented in the figure as AB, where time is given as 0.5 seconds. Theta you have to calculate, alpha is also unknown, omega 1 is given as 0, omega 2, that is the final velocity is 200 rpm. That is the first case. It then rotates at that speed for 2 seconds before decelerating. So in the second case, it is undergoing uniform motion for 2 seconds. At that time, velocity is constant throughout. So velocity at B and C is same, 200 rpm. Then it starts decelerating and comes to rest in 0.33 seconds. So from C to D, initial velocity is 200, final velocity is 0, time taken is 0.33 seconds. So now we have to apply the equations of motion to calculate the total revolutions made. So for the first phase, omega 1 is equal to 0. So here omega 2 is 200 rpm. We have to convert into radian per second, multiply by 2 pi by 60. So omega 2 is equal to 20.94 radian per second. Here the time taken is 0.5 seconds. So using the first equation of motion, you will get alpha, that is equal to 41.88. Again for the first phase, you have to calculate the displacement or the angle turned is equal to omega 1 into t plus half alpha into t square. So on substituting the values, you will get d theta is equal to 5.235 radian. And for the second phase, body is undergoing uniform motion, that is velocity is constant. So in that second case, theta 2 is equal to omega 2 t plus half alpha into t square. Alpha is equal to 0 because body is moving with uniform velocity. You can use the equation angular displacement is equal to angular velocity into time, that is 41.88 seconds. And for the third phase, the body is decelerating. So omega 2 is 20.94 radian per second. Omega 3 is 0 for a time interval 0.33 seconds. So using that equation, you will get a deceleration alpha is equal to minus 63.45 radian per second square. And for the third phase, you have to calculate the total angle turned. Theta is equal to, that is theta 3 is equal to omega 2 t plus half alpha into t square. So here alpha, you have to put negative sign. So theta is equal to 3.455 radians. So total angle turned is a sum of angle turned in the first phase, second phase and the third phase. That is 50.57 radian. So total number of revolutions is equal to radian divided by 2 pi. That will give the value of angular displacement in revolution. That is 8.05. So now the next question, a wheel is uniformly accelerated from 10 revolution per second to 18 revolution per second in 4 seconds. The wheel continues to accelerate at this rate for the next 8 seconds. Thereafter, the wheel rotates with uniform angular velocity. Find the total time to complete 400 revolutions. So this is a very important question. This is a university question. So here the movement is represented in the diagram. So in the first case, the body is moving through a distance AB. So initial velocity is 10 revolution per second and final velocity is 18 revolution per second. So you have to note down the unit. The unit is not given in RPM, revolution per minute. Instead it is given in revolution per second. So time taken for the first phase is 4 seconds. And during the second phase, we will continue to accelerate at this rate for next 8 seconds. So the final velocity is not given. You have to calculate final velocity. So after reaching point C, it moves with a uniform angular velocity. So the acceleration is 0. Angular acceleration alpha is equal to 0. You have to find the total time to complete 400 revolutions. So we have theta AB plus theta BC plus theta CD, that is equal to 400 revolution. You have to convert it into radian. 400 into 2 pi radian. So now theta CD is equal to 400 into 2 pi minus theta AB minus theta CD. So for the first phase, omega 1 is equal to 10 revolution per second. 10 revolution per second means you have to multiply only with 2 pi to convert into radian per second. So 2 pi into 10, that is equal to 20 radian per second. Omega 2 is equal to 18 revolution per second, that is 18 into 2 pi radian per second. Time is given as 4 seconds. So using the first equation of motion, you will get alpha is equal to 4 pi radian per second squared. So next step, you have to calculate the angle turned in the first phase. Theta 1 is equal to omega 1t plus half alpha into t square. That is equal to 112 pi radians. So now for the second phase, you have to calculate theta. So there, for the second phase, omega 2 is the angular velocity. So omega 2 is equal to 36 pi radian per second into time. That is 8 into half into alpha. That is equal to 4 pi into 8 square. That is equal to 416 pi radian. So now for the last phase, theta 3 is the angle turned. The angular velocity alpha is equal to 0 because body is moving with uniform angular velocity. So theta 3 is equal to total angle turned during this motion is 400 revolutions. So 400 into 2 pi minus theta 1 plus theta 2. That is equal to 272 pi. And the unit is in radian. So now you have to calculate the total time to complete 400 revolutions. So here we have assumed omega 3 as the velocity at the third phase, that is at point C. At the initial position of the third phase, we are assuming omega 3 as the velocity. So you have to calculate omega 3 from the previous phase, that is from the phase BC. So omega 3 is equal to omega 2. Omega 2 is 36 pi plus alpha into t, that is equal to 68 pi radian per second. So here, in order to calculate the time taken, you have to use the second equation of motion. Theta 3 is equal to omega 3t plus half alpha into t square. That is alpha is equal to 0. So t is equal to 4 seconds. So now the total time to complete 400 revolution is equal to 4 plus 8 plus 4. That is equal to 16 seconds. So next, a rotor decreases uniformly from 100 rpm to rest in 310 seconds. Determine the angular acceleration and number of revolutions of the rotor coming to rest. So here initial angular velocity 1000 rpm is multiplied with 2 pi by 60. That is 104.7198 radian per second. So here the time taken is 310 seconds. Final angular velocity, that is when the rotor is coming to rest, final angular velocity is 0. We are using the first equation of motion. From that you will get angular acceleration as minus 0.3778 radian per second squared. So now the angular displacement theta is equal to omega 0 t plus half alpha t square. So from that equation you will get theta is equal to 16,231.54 radian. So in order to convert into revolution, you have to divide by 2 pi. That is equal to 2583.3 revolutions.